Last week, Nurse Nancy and I had the opportunity to participate in the New Hope Auto Show annual rally. We did that with our 1998 Boxster. Unfortunately, we experienced a close call when on two occasions the car would not restart. Last week's near miss reminded me of how important it is to have a set of essential things you should take with you on any trip with your classic or collector car. So in this podcast, I'm going to take you through what I typically carry in one of my classic cars when I'm taking it out for a ride. Welcome to the Guys with Their Rides podcast. I'm Rudy Samsel, the co-founder of GuysWithRides.com, the only dealer-free community and marketplace for everyday classic car enthusiasts like you and me. This format is different than my typical podcast format where I like to interview somebody with an interesting ride and the story they have about it. I am actively seeking guests. If you are within a 2-hour radius of Flemington, New Jersey, in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania tri-state area, either give me a call or click the link in this video's description to give me your contact information, and I will get back to you very soon. Last week, Nurse Nancy and I had the opportunity to participate in the New Hope Auto Show annual rally. We did that with our 1998 Boxster. Unfortunately, we experienced a close call when on two occasions the car would not restart. I'm fairly certain that's a key switch issue. That'll be the topic for a future episode when I go to replace that. Before I get started, one thing I want to point out is we're very close to almost 3,000 subscribers. And if you've already subscribed, I can't thank you enough that you're helping grow the channel. And as fast as the channel is growing, the statistics show that the vast majority of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. I ask everybody watching, please subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it helps my channel grow by letting other people know that there's informative and entertaining content posted on this channel. So let me take you through what are the essential tools and items I take with me when I'm driving any of my classic cars. First off is a battery charger. And this serves two purposes. God forbid your battery goes dead for some reason. You can jump start it without having to rely on anyone else. And the other thing is, what people don't realize, is a system like this, if you have to do some electrical troubleshooting, since this is 12 volt DC, you can hook up your leads to a multimeter and do some testing that way. So this is very critical to have, and always have it charged before you go. Now they make much smaller units that do the job depending on your space requirements, but I've had this for a while and it suits me well other than the bulkiness of it. Next up is a toolkit, and I bought this about 7 years ago on Amazon. It's made by the Crescent Tool Company, and it is a nice set that opens up and does the job very effectively. It lays flat in the trunk, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. So this is a Crescent tool set. Since this is a Crescent tool set, I can call this a Crescent wrench. Any other wrench like this is known as an adjustable wrench. Fun fact. Sadly, I bought this about 7 years ago for about $80 or $85, and I looked earlier today on Amazon and it's up to $125. It's crazy how prices of things have gone up, but I digress. There's a variety of tools out there, sets like that, but the key is it's a nice combination of metric and standard. Depending on your car, you may want to opt for a similar size set that's all metric, but there's a variety out there. The key is having some pliers in it, a set of screwdrivers. It has a nice set of drivers that fit into a screwdriver set, a set of wrenches that for most bolts that you would try to take apart in the field, and as well as some Allen wrenches. Can't forget those. So good overall set. It saved me more the times than I can count. But then here's my handy dandy tote that I carry. You can see it's a shallow Rubbermaid tote. These are probably $10, $12 these days. Let's see what I've put in it though. Again, another piece that doesn't take up a lot of space. Even in my Boxster, I have a bunch of things in here. Well, first off is oil. And this came in handy with the Boxster last week. I went to fill up the car, and sure enough, it was low on oil. So now my kids got me this nice thing. It keeps the oil in it. You don't have to get that fancy, but it's nice because it does have a funnel and towel. So a little over the top, but the main thing is carry a quart of oil with you. Not surprisingly, I carry a roll of Gorilla Tape or duct tape, not duck tape, although there is a brand. But that, you'd be crazy not to have that with you. It comes in handy too much. Next up is a set of zip ties I picked up at Harbor Freight. These are the plastic ones. However, if you watched my video on the 928 not too long ago, I had problems with the exhaust where one of the exhaust hangers broke. So that lesson taught me to also put stainless steel zip ties in this kit. Those would have come in much more handy. Candidly, I used the plastic zip ties to hold the thing, but the heat eventually broke them a couple of times for the exhaust hangers, so it just was too much weight for those. Got me home, but I wish I had had these because it would have been a one and done affair. I carry Fix-A-Flat. This comes in handy. Some would say, well, why not carry an air compressor? Well, an air compressor's more weight, and it's not going to help you if you have a flat tire. This has a better probability of trying to get you back home. The Boxster has a donut. However, the 928 has a 40-year-old spare that's supposed to be inflated. God forbid something happens with that car. I would rather have this than trying to rely on a 40-year-old collapsible spare tire. The tire guys won't like you when you come in with having to repair the tire, but at least this might get you home. Next up is a small can of either WD-40 or other bolt loosener like PB Blaster. That's essential because invariably if you got to fix something and you got a tight bolt with these small wrenches, you're going to need to pour some of this on, give yourself a fighting chance on the road. If you're getting up in the years and you're like me, I find that having a light now is critical for anything I do, even in broad daylight. When you get underneath the car, it can be pretty dark, especially on a sunny day. You need that light, at least one light, and you got to remember to keep it charged at all times. Next up is a fire extinguisher. I hope you never need one of these. And I carry one because some car shows actually require that you have one, particularly the Antique Automobile Club of America. You're required to have that at any of their showing events. And more, I think the New Hope show requires it. So it's just a good idea to have it with you in case you're at a show that the local fire department requires it. But even more important, God forbid you're on the road and something breaks out in an electrical fire. At least you've got a fighting chance to put it out. This is it's more of a kit than anything that I've put together. This is what I call my electrical kit. And in this is a couple pieces of critical things. One is a bunch of electrical connectors. I need to restock my wire in here. Some fuses, electrical tape, and a multimeter. Harbor Freight has a cheap one. I think it's under $10. Learn how to use it if you don't know how to use a multimeter. But that can tell you whether you've got a problem with continuity on a fuse, whether a certain switch is getting power. Critical to have a multimeter with you. Even if it's a small, cheap one, it gets the job done. It might be the difference between getting home and calling a tow truck. Hopefully, these tools were enough to fix whatever the problem was when you were on the road. And when you're done with that, now you got to clean up. I always carry a stock of tub towels. I typically have one of these in my garage, but then I carry this one in the box. And these are a lifesaver, especially on a hot day like today. You can get cleaned up without when you don't have access to a shower. And then finally is a roll of shop towels. And I typically buy these, a pack of these at Costco, usually once or twice a year, depending on how much I'm working in the garage. So those are the essential things I carry with me at all times. The important thing to remember is, once you have this kit established for yourself, whether you're going 5 miles or 500 miles one way, always pack this kit in your classic car. Unfortunately, one time when I was driving the 928 to a Cars and Coffee 6 miles from where I'm standing right now, When I went to leave there, I did not have the kit in me. I figured, I'm just a few miles away. What could happen? Well, I was maybe 2 miles out of there. I hit a bump, and the car lost its fuel supply. Had I had the kit, I could have fixed the car right then and there. But I didn't have it with me, and that ended up costing me $125 for a 5-mile tow job. So just remember that next time. Again, whether it's 5 miles or 500, you want a kit to give yourself a fighting chance that you can fix what's the problem is on the road and get yourself home. Some honorable mentions: you might want to put an old floor mat in the car, carpeted. That way you have something to sit on or kneel down on while you're working on the car if you have to be somewhere low. You might want to throw in some microfiber towels. For the most part, this is the core of what has saved me more than a few times driving these classic cars. So this is the kit that's worked for me. What's worked for you? Is there anything I should add to this box? Let me know in the comments below. So that's it for this podcast. It's a short one. Again, I'm actively recruiting for guests in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area. If you have a car with a great story, I'd love to hear from you. Look for the phone number and the link to the contact page in the description of this video. So thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from potential future guests. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on the 800 number posted in the description. Have a great day. Get out there and drive, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. Please press the like and subscribe button, comment below, and be sure to check out our other videos on this subject, as well as all of the great content on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can call me at the number listed below, or be sure to check out our main website, guyswithrides.com.